This video is brought to you by TS4U IT Engineering Bootcamp.
A quick question: you have been mentioning about the working with the developer back and forth as a DevOps engineer. So to be a great DevOps engineer, what programming language should you learn, or do you actually need to learn any coding for being a core DevOps engineer, or what do you think? Do you have?
Yeah, so basically in my day-to-day task, I need to do a lot of automations. So first of all, what we actually do is, if this can be done with a shell script, we just do it. So we don't usually suggest, or we don't usually support that, okay, for this simple job, we need to jump onto a programming language, because the infrastructure problems are mostly based on the infrastructure, right? These are not programming problems. These are not like developers problem. It's infrastructure problem. And most of the infrastructure problem can be solved by the shell script. So if we know the Linux basics very well, we can just create a shell script with that, and then I think most of the automations can be done with that. So if I wanna like give you an example, we were using shell scripts with our Jenkins deployments all the time. Okay, like the deployments that we are doing right now with the Terraform and all the GitLab CI and all the automations, we were basically doing something like this with shell scripts. We had like thousands of lines of shell scripts that were doing just these things that were inefficient for the first few days. But as we grown, as we saw like some more edge cases with our scripts, we basically wrote more scripts to support that, and then we had a good flow of pipeline that were able to deploy everything that we wanted with the shell scripts only. Okay, so basically I would say the shell script should be the first one, and we always focused on this. And then for some of the automations that I did, I basically did it with Python. So let's say I needed to create some trigger in our AWS pipelines, and we were using the AWS code pipeline as well. So with that AWS pipeline, I needed to do some triggers with Lambda. Okay, so Lambda is basically a serverless language, and I had the previous experience with the Python programming language. So basically I wrote a Python code that can actually gather that data from our AWS pipeline and can trigger another pipeline in our GitLab CI. Okay, so I actually took that opportunity and then wrote a small Python script as a Lambda so that it can get the data from the AWS, and then it can trigger my GitLab job. So I actually did that. I got a lot of appreciations from my manager. So yeah, I'd say having coding experience helps a lot to grow the career. And I had seen that opportunity as well. And I felt that okay, this was a necessity for me, but most of the time I was okay with the shell scripts.
Got it. Thank you.